opening the meeting at 3 o'clock. I'm gonna go around the table and introduce everybody. We're gonna start with at this end. Go ahead.
Vinnie Lindenbauer.
Bill Flynn.
William Tracy.
Melissa Brown. Shelday.
Chad Pine.
Katie Hamill.
All right. Our first order of business is we need to elect a secretary. Does anybody want to take on that responsibility?
So would that just be taking notes?
Taking notes, typing them up, and then get them to us, okay?
I do need to know how often we'll be meeting though, and if it's at this time, because this, I might not, like, I don't know if I can make it to all of them, if that's the case.
We're gonna find out what works best. This is just to try to get the committee formed, put out a little bit of information to let people know that we are working on a project. And then we can figure out what works best. I've heard that people are saying 3 o'clock doesn't work, mornings don't work. I've had people complain that evenings don't work, so it is not gonna work for everybody. It's not gonna, everybody is gonna have a problem with it at one time or the other. So we're gonna try to make it the best we can. So there will be an email going out to the committee members to find out what times and what days work best for them. And then we're gonna try to make it the best that we can for everybody.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
Is it typically a 1-hour meeting?
Probably typically as long, the only time it's gonna start getting lengthy is when we're near the end of the process and we're finalizing, we're going over playgrounds, we're meeting with the people coming in, but you're welcome. And for now, I don't see us meeting more than maybe once a month until the project gets going fully.
So your name's Katie and
Yes.
you're gonna be secretary, okay?
Yes.
All right. All the members here in favor of Katie being secretary, please raise your hand. All right, all in favor?
Katie didn't raise her hand.
She was taking notes.
No, I don't.
Bring
Okay.
my laptop.
Willie, would you like to give an update on some information to let people know what we're going to be dealing with?
May I ask first?
Sure.
Are these folks here to listen to these
Yes.
members? Oh,
No, they're here to listen to what we have to
yep,
present.
yep.
Sure, so we have Kathy, I don't have her last name, she's a student specialist from the state of Maine. She works underneath Doug Beck, who's the head of the water conservation. He was part of the grant that the playground was originally brought to the town underneath. She's scheduled to come out on 4/29 at 10 a.m. to go over the playground here, give her thoughts on what we should do and where we should go as a town. There is certain, no matter what she gives us for an answer, we will have a recreational area, which will most likely, once we get everyone's input in the town, will be this playground or another playground. Again, I'm sure everybody wants to continue to have a playground
Yes.
in the town, so that's just how she explained it to me, that that area could be used for anything as long as it was still recreational, usefulness of equal value. So we're excited to have her come out. I did have Ben Schaefer. I did contact them. Ben Schaefer. Recreation. I had a guy come out from there on Wednesday last week, and he took a walk around the grounds, and He gave me their pamphlet on stuff that they have. He said the wooden playground was not something that their company would try to rehab. He did give me a pamphlet on what their new products are. It includes a ton of different new stuff. A lot of it is all-inclusive, ADA compliant, and he said he would put together, not to get the horse in front of the cart, but he said he would put together a quote for something for the town if we ever get to that phase. I said, go ahead and put it together. It doesn't mean anything right now, except it's something we can look at and reference.
What time is the woman coming on the 29th?
The 10th.
At 10.
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
10 a.m. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Does any committee members have questions or things that they want to bring up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
the name company's work.
That's the
I have a couple
manufacturer.
Sure.
My first question is, so it sounds like we're waiting to see if things can be rehabbed or if we need something new.
Correct.
Then, are we keeping both, or is that up in the air? Because right now we have 2 playgrounds, and I know at the meeting, someone had thrown out possibly not keeping both playgrounds.
Okay. So the grant that the town got it started in 1987, it finished in 1989. We've begun Memorial Master Plan and Park here. This wooden playground and the tennis courts were part of that project.
Yeah, okay.
The playground swings and playground on the other side of the community center are separate
Okay.
entity.
At the time, that was a functioning school. So that was not part of the grant or the land that was donated for this park.
Okay.
So that playground essentially was school.
Yeah.
So when the town took over that, we kind of now own all of this, the surrounding.
Yeah.
My thoughts, and I've talked this over with Willie, is if we go with replacing, maybe moving that playground, and again, this is all just
Sure.
thoughts that we're trying to figure out and what we can do, is if we were going to do anything, purchase a new playground, but maybe move that one to be over here as well. So it's not out
So it would
close
be
to the
2
road.
over in that back area. Yeah, I like that idea, away from the road. 'Cause
Yeah,
I-
make-
Yes.
Somebody else, I thought they were saying like to only have one over here, and I thought that as a parent was not ideal. to
I have, my grandson is special needs, and he's an eloper, which means he runs away. So having him close to the road
Yeah.
would not be something that I would ever be in favor of.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we can incorporate, whether we move that one or a bigger park or whatever we can do, but to make it so that this area is the safe area.
Okay, cool. That was my question.
The
I
other-
do have more, but I'll.
No, that's okay. Ask them away.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're
We
here.
want to hear
I don't
everyone's
wanna
questions.
I don't wanna monopolize.
No.
Yeah, the other thing that they're talking about doing is moving this playground over on
The
the other
wooden?
side of the road, because
Where the T-ball is?
Behind
behind the T-ball.
Behind
Reason
the-
being
Where
is
the
where
woods
this-
are? So clearing woods.
Well, maybe not clearing woods, but behind the
Cleaning.
woods.
Cleaning the wooded area.
Cleaning that area behind the, just across the,
just because of,
okay.
yeah, just because of the ball field, if someone hits a fall ball, they don't want a kid to get hit, so they wanna,
So whatever playground, I'm not gonna say wooden or new, because
Right.
whatever playground, we know we're gonna have a playground.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, will not be situated in that certain spot. It will essentially be picked up and moved.
Oh, no
Whatever
matter
it is,
what.
No
Yeah.
matter what.
Oh,
For
okay.
safety
I didn't
reasons.
understand that.
for safety reasons, because we've got older kids playing ball and they can hit some good ones, and we don't want children getting hit.
While they're
So,
playing.
yeah,
Okay, but still in eyesight of parents, not near the
Right.
road.
No.
yes.
Yeah, the field, the playground right now is technically grandfathered in that space. The legal distance is less than what it is. The playground is within that distance. So any altercations or anything new would require us to have a setback that fits the new standard.
I understand.
It's set back from,
The ball field.
Ball field.
Yeah,
so it's grandfathered now if it stays there.
yeah.
Yes.
But if we do any work,
Any new work, yeah.
or have anything new, then
Or
that,
any new work at all. Or-
as I understand it,
Okay.
when I was speaking with Doug, that's kind of what I got from that.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bill.
The original work that was done up there, the 87, 88 construction, if that's the right way to pronounce, did we have a company? Did we pay someone to bring in his crew and do that work?
From the paperwork that I can see, it was a bunch of volunteers and a group that came down to assist and show them how it's to be done. That was my understanding in the paperwork that I have spent some hours tracing
Well,
back.
because I was fairly new in town then, I vaguely remember some of it going on, and I even vaguely remember some of the people who quote volunteered to help. But I am curious about this outfit that was on the peripheries or in the middle, whatever. Were they part of a contracted deal, and was that contract inclusive of 2 inspections a year to make sure the thing was still workable and safe and things like that?
So over the years, my understanding, and again, I'm only seeing bits and pieces of what I can piece through town reports.
Yeah.
Is that once, I think it was in the 90s that I found, it got turned over from the Dunn Memorial Park Committee to the rec department. And that was early 90s. And at that time, the rec department, if you want to call it, was all strictly volunteers. So I'm not sure how much got relayed to them, but over the years that should have had an inspection every few years. And we did have one. The guy came on, when did he come out last, Willie?
So
2017?
The last time he came out was February 1st, 2016,
Okay.
for a site evaluation. And the requirements were that they're supposed to do a site evaluation every 5 years.
So 16 would have been 21, which would have been COVID time, so it didn't matter.
Right, so, yeah, they weren't gonna be coming out at that point, but, so we are a little behind in the thing, but now that we've got one scheduled.
Well, it's good that we have one scheduled, because I do want to talk to that person. I've done a little looking myself, and it would appear that no matter what I look at, whether it's the state or whether it's schools or communities or whatever, the actual visits are an important piece of the pie before anyone goes climbing on anything. As a matter of fact, it's suggested that it's a minimum of 2 checks a year, perhaps 3 or 4. There's even a certified playground safety inspector course,
Yes, that
Yeah.
is what Kathy, whatever.
and it's a
her name is.
3-day affair,
Yep,
and then it ends with a 3-hour question and answer period before
Yes.
you either pass or you don't pass.
and that lady who's come out, she is a certified playground inspector.
Okay,
Yes.
so the safety aspect of this should be one of the things that's in the forefront at all times,
Yes.
or we won't be able to do this.
So I'm hearing different things. I heard like every 5 years it needs somebody to do a visit, but then you're saying
I
it
would
should be
suggest
every 2
the-
to
The newer stuff
The
looks
newer
like
stuff.
they're suggesting at least every 2 years.
So let me,
every 2 years.
let
is
me-
what you said.
No, I'm sorry,
Twice
Twice
a
a
year.
year.
twice a year, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought you said, like twice a year.
Twice a year.
so let me clarify. Through the Department of Agriculture, Conservation and Forestry, this grant, the LWCF grant, the state, to assure these obligations are met, all LWCF funded projects must be inspected once every 5 years.
That was for that.
So that's part of
And
their
this is the company that
requirement
we're still dealing
through the
with.
state, that's their requirement.
Yeah,
Okay.
What Bill's referring to is what, we should be looking at for the town itself.
Well, I,
That would be the goal.
I- let me, so, I think what we should look at is what is applicable today, what is the law today. That thing's dated 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago or whatever. I'm talking about right now.
yes.
If the state of Maine says you do it twice a year, then I don't care what that outfit says, you do it twice a year.
Yep,
Well, when she comes to inspect, she'll tell us
She will
when
give
the
us-
next
Oh, I would
inspection will have
imagine
to
so,
be.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, I'm sure all the
Right,
law
right,
changes, she will
sure.
give us any of those updates.
Right.
Yep.
But I'm for it, spring and fall.
And is that like expensive? Should someone try to do it like through the town if it's like a 3-day course so that the town can do it on their own?
That's the course that we're getting ready to sign up for.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
you should have been sent the link also to,
Oh, I may have been I'll check
to sign
email.
up to take this course.
So then the town would take over doing
Right.
that. Okay. So training is coming up.
So we're just a question, now, once, so everything is done, the playground's in, and there'll no longer be a playground committee. Right, I mean, there won't be a need for a playground committee,
Correct.
yeah.
I would say that the only thing at that point is the committee would then turn it back over to the rec department or to the town of Brownfield,
Right,
and we would have to list out
right,
the safety requirements, that it needs to be done this time and this time every year.
right, that would be really updating all that stuff, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
I will let people know that, this is not gonna be a quick fix. It is not going to be like we're sitting here and by the end of the summer, there's going to be a updated or a new playground or anything like that. They're talking breaking ground in spring of 2027 at the earliest.
Now, Willie will correct me if I'm wrong on this, but when the lady comes down on the 29th, when she looks at this playground, she'll be able to tell us that, no, the playground has to stay locked down, or there'll be certain parts of the playground that can be open, or we have to fix certain parts of it to get back open until we can get the new playground in place.
And that is our goal. If we have to remove some portions of it to make it safe, then we will do so. If she says, nope, you gotta replace a board or a screw or railing or whatever, we can do that until.
We can get the new one.
Because my understanding, and these gentlemen can correct me if I am wrong, the group that LWFC,
Yep, LWCF.
CF,
Yep.
has said that the wooden playgrounds have outlived its lifespan for several reasons. One, because they were built with pressure treated wood, and that is not really safe for children to be playing on, especially with warping, splintering, all of that stuff. So it is their recommendation that we do look at other options. We will see.
Are we gonna have anybody else come look? Cause I know like over like Woods Pond, they have like a nice wooden playground. I love the wooden playground.
They
I think
do.
so many families love the wooden playground. It's unique. People come here to go to the wooden playground.
The thing with this one is that we're in with this group
Yeah, we have
for a lifetime.
Yeah, we have long-term stewardship obligations because the grant when the town received the grant,
Okay,
the town was obligated to maintain a recreational use area for its lifetime.
With this group.
Whether it's a wooden playground,
so what's the lifetime of the grant?
A lifetime.
Just
Lifetime, forever and ever and ever and ever.
So we're locked into this outfit whether we wanna deal with them or not.
correct.
Correct.
The LC,
Land,
WCF?
water
Who
conservation
signed
fund.
that?
Whoever did it back in 1987 or 88.
what was, so the man who's the selectman was saying like he found out that there was like money every month that the town was receiving and he was putting that portion towards the playground. Can't we use some of that?
So
Instead
there
of
I'll tell you
is,
who signed this. I did.
back in 2016,
16.
but you weren't the original signer of the grant
Back in
in
1987.
87.
I bet she's joking all along.
So there is going to be a warrant article, that is going to be put in for a vote at town meeting
Okay.
for us to appropriate up to 180,000 towards a new playground, or towards the playground.
So that'll go in as a warrant and then a vote, and then that vote, we don't know when that will happen yet.
So that'd be at town meeting in June.
In June, there'll be a vote, okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Do we know the date in June?
it is going to be open town meeting June 11th.
June 11th.
Yes, 6 p.m. community center.
That's when you would vote.
Yes,
I wasn't
Okay.
here.
yes. And then that money would be put into an account to save, because this group, LWC, F, whatever, I'm never gonna get the acronym right, they will also put money towards, we have to match.
Okay, but that gives us more flexibility, so we possibly could
Get a bigger and better.
check out other companies for the playground.
Yes, they don't specifically build the playgrounds, but they work with companies.
The ones that
whose-
they suggested.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
we don't have to go.
And, no,
They apply for the grant through the federal government. We apply to them, they apply for the grant, and then if there was determination that we needed a new playground,
Mm-hmm.
and then we applied for a grant, that process, they would apply,
Mm-hmm.
and we would have to match 50% of whatever request we made.
So it's a 50% match.
It's 50% match.
But that wouldn't that obligation, or wouldn't that suggestion that they apply for the grant, wouldn't that apply to any outfit that we're doing business with?
yes, as long
Yes.
as they
So
accept it. We're still with this company, for this grant company, for a lifetime. But we can look at other playgrounds.
We can go through Playhouse to get the playground, but we have to follow their rules to maintain the
We
grounds.
have to, everything that they're doing, the company that we look at, we have to make sure that they're in compliance with them. There's
That's
thousands
why,
of steps.
that's why it's a 2-year deal.
That's why they have no trust.
The idea that we have to be in compliance with them as far as what goes on out there, I think would be pretty easy to do, since I have yet to hear, have they done anything out there since the day they left and said it's open, go for it? Have they been back?
They've come and done inspections, but I don't see no reports, I can just see when they've come up.
Precisely my point.
Yeah,
So they could have been writing us up, so to speak, for years and no,
That's what I tried to tell you guys.
so we're gonna try to find out, when she comes out, our goal, number one, is this playground safe? Is it something we need to keep, something we need to get rid of? What, as a certified playground inspector, what
Do we
is
need to
your take on this? What is our steps? Where can we go? What do we need? They gave us some playground, different people, like Play with a Purpose. Noah's Park is one that if we had to go with a new playground, I love, because my goal is, if we're gonna do a new playground, or if we're going to modify this one out here, it will be all-inclusive.
And
It will
handicap,
make sure that every child, no matter what, can be on that playground and be doing activities, not just sitting by watching.
ones in wheelchairs and everything. Can you
Everybody
have-
will be able
yeah.
to use it. So if that playground is gonna be something that they say you just need to fix, then we're gonna have to find a way to fix it to make it all-inclusive.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to check the vote you were talking about. Is that a public vote?
Yes,
Okay, and
Yep.
when did you say that was? So I can put it in the calendar?
June 11th at open town meeting.
Okay. And is it what time?